A very good morning. It's an honor and delight for me to be here. Before I start my talk, I'd just like to have a quick show of hands. How many people in this beautiful audience have a phone in their hands? A very quick raise of hands. In their hands, absolutely. So, yes. So almost everybody has a phone. Imagine a classroom which has learners, and every learner or student in that classroom has a device. The same device that opens worlds of knowledge can also open worlds of harm. Technology connects us, but it also exposes us to exploitation, abuse, and violence. As India, we boast of having the world's largest youth population. But if our children and young people are not safe, they are not connected, and they are not empowered, humanity has no tomorrow. The problem is technology facilitated violence. When I say technology, it is supposed to connect each one of us, whether it's social media platforms, artificial intelligence, gadgets, etc. But what is technology also doing? It is opening up worlds of harm. Just to tell you that online violence, cyber stalking, bullying, doxing is increasing globally. Girls and marginalized populations are disproportionately affected. There is a huge digital divide between people who have access to the right digital tools, and there are people who do not know how to use digital tools in a very safe and protected manner. What happens when violence occurs? When violence happens, online violence, it can actually lead to a lot of shame. It can lead to a lot of stress. It can lead to a lot of mental health issues. The internet addiction among children in our country is not funny at all. We have 253 million adolescents in our country. Every fifth person in our country is an adolescent in the age group of 10 to 19. But are they safe? So violence actually silences people. It erodes trust and it pushes away our learners from digital spaces. When learners go away from digital spaces, society loses innovation, it loses creativity, it also loses leadership. The world is talking about artificial intelligence. But have we ever wondered how artificial intelligence is also being weaponized to cause shame, to cause harm? I will just tell you some statistics, but please remember that behind these statistics is a human voice, are people like you and I. Globally, 736 million, 1 in 3 women have reported that they have faced some kind of violence, and now that is extending to digital spaces. 70% of women, as per global surveys, have said that they have faced online harassment, exploitation, stalking, doxing, etc. As I mentioned, women and girls are disproportionately affected. The digital divide is growing. And people who are less literate do not have more agency. They are extremely vulnerable because they are afraid of taking a legal recourse. In South Asia, there are highest number of online violence, bullying, stalking, etc. There have been multiple studies where women, students, learners have reported online violence and harassment. It is shocking that artificial intelligence, which everybody, it's a new buzzword, how is it being used to harm people? Somebody was telling me the other day that a little girl shared her picture with a classmate in all sincerity. This friend of hers took her photograph, morphed it and put it on a pornographic website. 14-year-old, can you imagine the kind of abuse, the kind of trauma that this girl went through after that? India is no exception. A huge number of research studies have been done which have shown that the increasing number of online harassment and violence that our learners are facing. A recent study highlighted how a young student had morphed 1,000 pictures of female students. This is to just tell you about how devastating these digital tools can be if they are not used responsibly. Also, there is a lot of sharing, non-consensual distribution of sexually explicit images which are being shared, which are being sold out to markets. Why are we talking about this? Of course, we all believe in technology. That is the way to go. Technology we all need to leverage. But let me tell you, my dear friends, that technology-facilitated violence is the antagonist of today's progress that we are about to make. We're sitting in this beautiful auditorium and I see educators, it's an educational institution and I work with UNESCO. It is a huge priority for us to prevent and respond to technology-facilitated gender-based violence. Why schools? We all have learners over here, parents, teachers, educators, because schools are uniquely positioned. When there is technology-facilitated violence, the courts, the police, the digital platforms will take ages to respond once the damage is already done. But schools are uniquely positioned because they reach out to millions of learners to protect them, to prevent violence from happening. And how can that be done? Through age-appropriate curriculum. How do we teach our children? How do you stay safe? It's not about just giving a phone to your child. Have we ever empowered them? How do you use that tool? Have we ever monitored? Have we ever checked with them? So schools are uniquely positioned, not only through digital literacy, but also to give them the skills. Skills such as decision making, critical thinking, assertive communication. If something happens, who do you go to report to? Negotiations. So schools are most uniquely placed. The education sector has to be at the front line defense. Children these days live blended lives on both online as well as offline. So it is the responsibility of every educational institution to make sure that the educational environment is safe, it's conducive, it's responsive. Why? Because internet addiction, the way technology is being used to cause harm, is actually having a lot of mental health problems among children. Just see the number of suicides that are happening in our country. Pick up the latest data from the National Crime Records Bureau and you will know. Where are our children going wrong? Why are they lacking resilience? So if India has to progress on this matter, they have to invest in school-based prevention programs. Number one, what we need to do is, we need to actually reduce the long-term mental health burdens of internet addiction. We need to have compliance with child protection policies. We need to prevent harm, online harm. There are so many games, there are so many sites where children watch those videos, they have access to technology, and many of them start inflicting self-harm. And most importantly, empower schools, empower the education sector. And understand that education is not only an academic one, but far more reaching. As it said, that education is the foundation to sustainable development. I'll come back to students now. I see some students in the audience. Why is it important to empower? See, technology connects us. We are all global citizens. Everything is available at a click of a button. But we need to empower our children. Protection is not enough. We definitely need to inculcate the right empathy, the right ethics, respectful relationships. Every school should invest in capacity building of its teachers, not as cyber police, but as protective adults. We also need to have the right redressal mechanisms. Do we have it in place? Is there the accountability? If a child faces online violence, where will the child go to? Do I feel comfortable coming to my teacher and talking to her about it? Most importantly, our children have to be given voice and agency, because students co-create safe spaces and they also advocate for their rights. There are so many edtech companies, and a lot of schools, parents, teachers share the details of the children. Have you ever wondered how that can be abused? Is it safe to share all the details of every family with those edtech companies? You need to think about it. Because protection is not enough. We need to empower our children. Right now, we are at the crossroads. We can either allow technology to deepen the divides, or we can use technology so that our children can thrive well, that they learn well, they grow up well with the right attitude, the right knowledge, the right skills. So the options in front of us are there. Technology facilitated gender-based violence will actually not test us as to whether we have made technology safe, but have we been able to protect our children? Because that is shown that safe, inclusive learning environments actually help children to learn better so that they can thrive better, and they are the ones who are going to shape technology. So the options that we have are absolutely clear. We have two options. One is we wait until violence happens, until the harm is done, and then we take action. The other is that we design education systems so that it does not take place in the first place. Because if children are not safe, if they are not connected in this, everything is available online. If they're not connected, they lose out. So it is absolutely imperative that we invest and make sure that our children are empowered. Because if our children are empowered, they can be thinkers, they can be leaders. So we have to take a call. Ultimately, it is with us. Because if we fail our children, we fail our humanity, we fail our future. So when we say future forward, it is not just a topic or a theme, it is a call to action. And we need to protect our children. And if we succeed, we will actually unlock a generation of thinkers, motivators, leaders who will reimagine a kinder and a better world for all of us. Thank you very much.